Hi everyone. I'm following up with a video on deciding who cares for our dying loved ones. So this topic has come up for me because I do recognize that with my years of experience of working in a nursing home or being in the healthcare field and having my own aging and dying family members, that in this type of scenario, dying is not instant. It's not from something that happens right away, but it's something that is slow and requires more caregivers, more bedside care, more attention. And maybe we never thought about this, but when you are in the hospital, if you are not requiring hospitalization and you have not yet passed away, who will care for you in between? Who will care for your loved one in between? There are a number of steps, like ranges of care that we can provide, but I do think talking about this helps us emotionally process what would be right and what we need to do to brace ourselves for it. So the most, luxurious or ideal scenario would be if our loved one was discharged from a hospital and we were able to have in-home support services where they are able to be at home with their loved ones in a hospital bed getting professional care. Wow, that would just be glowing and amazing. And one of my friends actually did that during nursing school. So when we went to nursing school, it was very common for us to get our certified nursing assistant certification. And then we went to work because we wanted bedside experience. We wanted healthcare experience even before getting our nursing license. And my friend was able to go through an agency and work actually for a previous celebrity who has now passed. And, she got to see the most amazing house and get to provide such intimate and individualized, compassionate care. And that would be really so ideal. And we would all be so fortunate to have that circumstance so that our family member or a loved one can feel so safe and we can feel safe, like they're in good hands. Now, if that is not the scenario for you, and it's not for most of us, especially in the middle class or especially without long-term care insurance and other assets, then we may turn to finding an agency and splitting the cost between family members, friends, loved ones, and the assets of our loved one. So basically, we are still trying to find that care, but we have to figure out how to finance it, either by taking the income or the assets like a house or retirement accounts or anything of the person who needs the care, or we have to come up with the funds ourselves. And then when we are not able to afford 24-hour care or whatever level of care that's necessary, the next tier, and I'm not saying that anything is like less or worse, but I'm just kind of thinking about ranges of involvement and affordability. So then the next range would be for us family members to provide the care ourselves and to supplement with help. So let's say as a family member, you can do the night shift, you can do overnight, you'll be at home, but you can't do it during the daytime because you still have to work. So then you still need to find someone who can fill in that gap. Maybe you're just trying to find family members or community members who want the extra income or who are in limbo in college or high school and want the experience, and you can train them and you still feel comfortable with having them at the bedside. That way you are still able to have some sanity for yourself, to still go to work for yourself and to still take care of your family and have time for your own self-care. And of course, all of these ranges still require that you still have some funds. Now, let's say if you do not have any funds, you may end up needing to look to the government or any other agencies or resources that provide in-home support services or any other means. Like I've seen a church bulletin put out information of volunteer caregivers for seniors. And I have seen people get IHSS, in-home support services, by the government, and that's for those people who, if you don't have any assets, and so you are qualified by your income to get these services where the government pays for the caregiver, and the government qualifies your loved one based off of the level of care and the number of hours that the government thinks they need. And so you might qualify for 2 hours a day, 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. And you would still have to come up with the rest of the care yourself. And honestly, this may sound really, really bad, but when all of those options are not available, then legally, ethically, the care falls in your hands. And I don't even know who you are. Are you the family member? Are you a really dedicated, committed friend? Are you a loving community member? Are you an in-law? Like, I don't know who you are, and I don't know what your relationship is, but I understand that there is going to have to be a hard conversation or no conversation at all, and people just kind of wait to see who's willing to step in and provide that help. And that can be frightening, because this is someone that you care about and you want them to get that care, and you just don't have the means. And if you don't have the money, right, you have to put in the time. And at the end of the day, we want our loved ones to have dignified, compassionate, gentle, loving care, as if people are caring for their own family members, right? And at the same time, even if we were to provide that bedside care ourselves, I can't really say that we would do it well if we're not trained. And on top of that, we, loved ones, family members, friends, whoever is stepping in to do it, will end up getting caregiver burnout super fast, because it is so mentally taxing and physically taxing to get someone up from bed, give them their medicine, give them their food, modify any of that if they need any modifications, like if they can't swallow or if they can't feed themselves, help them go to the bathroom, help them bathe, help them with their errands. It amounts to so much, and it's literally taking care of another person's life because they cannot, while still having to care for yours. So this is the conversation that I wanted to bring up. I wanted to put it out there that it is a topic that has to be addressed when our loved ones are dying and when they need kind of like this in-between care, and that there has to be a conversation about who's going to provide that care, how it's going to be paid for, and how we will maintain a level of self-care and boundaries for ourselves and respect the boundaries of those who are doing the help, so that we don't take advantage, burn them out, drive them over the edge. This is a really, really intimate time. It's a very honorable time as well. Any level of care that I have been able to provide for my own family members and loved ones as a nurse, I am just way more humbled, way more honored to be able to do it without payment, right? Because then I'm grateful that I was able to go to nursing school and learn these things and then be able to provide it directly to my family. And I hope that this helps you have a conversation somehow, or I hope it helps trigger some reflection for you. And if it does, please share it. I really hope to connect people here in a community supportive of these uncomfortable conversations, and while I am in this season, I would love to support those walking through the grief process and death and dying process with their loved one and family members as well. Thank you. Bye.